Hakeem Jeffries had this comment that I wanted to ask you about. Do we want to win? Do we want to govern? Or do we want to be internet celebrities? House Democrat Caucus Chair Hakeem Jeffries echoing a common sentiment on the call last week, according to multiple Democrats familiar with the discussions. I think it's a useful conversation for us to have because the socialism message wasn't helpful. So back to that whole thing about punching left, saying socialism destroyed their electoral chances down ballot, ignoring all evidence to the contrary, ignoring what AOC has been saying, that it's not, the whole socialism message is not effectively messaging against GOP attacks, which makes more sense. But
they're basically complaining that the Republicans did the socialism attacks, and they're saying you opened us up to doing that, when they're completely forgetting that they've done it literally every single election my entire life, every single time, always. And the reason they were able to defeat them is because they can respond appropriately. They can respond effectively. They can't do like Joe Biden, come on, man, I beat the socialists. Like,
right. I mean, how many times did they have to punch? How many times did Biden punch left in the damn in the general election, saying I beat the socialists? Fuck Bernie, basically in so many words. And they still came out and did the anti-socialism messaging from the GOP. Not like it helped. Not like they were gonna stop or ever. They were gonna go and call you the lesser of two socialists. What difference did at the end of the day did it make? Yeah,
Joe Biden, he's a senator from MBMA, the crime bill. They called that the Rave Act. They called him a socialist. They were going to call anybody, like that fucking Spanberger is a CIA spook, and they calling her a socialist. They were going to do that regardless.
Didn't they call Claire McCaskill at one point a socialist? And she was running as a Republican, as a diet Republican. That's exactly what she did. But what I was
going to... It's like you need to have a better message, because the thing is, they spent so much of this year from the primary punching left like that. They spent so much of the year trying to neutralize the left-wing talking points,
right,
that now they're afraid to say anything other than fucking boo, hiss, socialism. Right? They're afraid to say anything that might give any kind of credence to any kind of left-wing populism message,
right,
even though everything is telling us that's what you need to do to win elections. You need to embrace the economic messaging. You need to embrace the economic populism. You need to lean into that, because if you don't, people think you're a stuck-up like SJW and you don't stand for anything except harshing your vibe when you try to tell racist jokes or whatever. Like, that's what they think. They think that all Democrats are like Nancy Pelosi's unfun. And that was what Bernie was saying. I don't know if you found that clip from Bernie was on PBS, but that's basically what he said, was if you don't say anything, they think that you are, they just believe all the worst stuff in their head about you, right? Like, they just believe all of the stereotypes and the Republican talking points.
Right.
Like, they don't believe you when you say you're not that. You have to be about something else.
Right. Well, I mean, what I was going to ask you about that, though, is people were speculating he was taking a shot at AOC with that.
Who?
Jeffries.
Oh, of course he was. Like, that's the whole, what they try to do. They try to belittle her, because they don't have, their concept of politics does not entail the bully pulpit. Their concept of politics is campaign and talking points and focus group messaging that you vet it beforehand, and then you deploy it when you're running for re-election. You don't deploy it any other time. It's like, to them, they see that as somehow uncouth or something, and not an essential part of the job.
So AOC answered back to that comment by Jeffries, which, I mean, I would characterize that as a sneak diss, by what he was coming out and saying. But
that's who they're talking about when they say the internet celebrity.
Right.
They try to pretend that the squad is just all they care about is tweeting, and it's they try to pretend that you could, of course, you could never do your job and also communicate with your constituents on Twitter, right? They pretend that that's somehow mutually exclusive. It's just so dumb. It's like they don't get that, like, that counter messaging they're doing to try to own the left. It's making them look bad in, like, so many different ways. It's making them look weak. It's making them look like they don't have any agenda. It's making them look like all of the worst caricatures. And it's like, it's messing with people's perception of what the job is supposed to be, right? Like, it's just, they don't want their constituents asking for anything.
And this was her comment, though, back to him. Pretty astounding that some Dems don't believe it's possible to govern, be politically popular, and command formidable bully pulpits at the same time. But it actually explains a lot about how we got here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what they think the job is. So that's why they're sucking. That's why Bernie goes on PBS and says people don't know where you stand when you don't have a messaging. Because they don't run on anything.
They run on the soul. Yeah, I mean, Beto says the same thing, just a little bit more roundabout way, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to think, and maybe I'm just being biased here as far as what Beto said, because I mean, I don't disagree with his messaging. I just thought it wasn't as effective as what it could have been.
Like I keep saying, like that new, like, don't attack the base messaging that the squad is coming out with.
Right.
Like, the party needs to embrace the progressives. They need to embrace the left wing of the party.
Well, if they plan
and learn from them.
Yeah, if they do and plan to win.
Like, they're not going to win. That's what the thing is. They think they'll be able to squash the left. Like, they'll be able to silence the young upstarts and keep them quiet. And that's not going to happen. They will not be able to do that. They will not win this battle. Like, the left is ascendant, right? The corporatists are dying out. Like, they're not going to have – there's not going to be some miraculous generation of, like, Mayor Petes and Betos that are, like, swept into power, right? That's not going to happen. The only future is you get, like, hostile takeover or a negotiated takeover.
So,
you know?
So just since this is a good time to go ahead and do the follow-up before we go to Bernie, but we had talked about yesterday off of that Joe Rogan podcast where his guest had said that the squad is only popular within their districts, right? Mm-hmm. So there's on YouGov, they do a polling to see the most popular Democrats in America. And, you know, they rank basically anybody you've ever heard of. Let's just see.
Hillary Clinton was number one, right?
Let's see where the squad lines up. So we have Rashida Tlaib here, 38th most popular.
Feinstein, how is she above anybody? When is this from?
So this
can't be recent.
Well, what we're going off of is just off of this
Walter
this
Mondale. This is just
election
just name recognition,
right? So a lot of it probably is name recognition. So, but this is the thing. Keep in mind they do popularity and they do fame. So people have heard of them and how they perceive them. So Rashida Tlaib is the 38th most popular Democrat. She's a 2-year Democrat, by the way, and she's the 50th most famous. And we have, Michael Bloomberg, Tulsi Gabbard, Tammy Duckworth. Ilhan Omar is number 27. She's the 35th most famous. Above
Franken.
And
Castro.
Let's see, there's Beto.
Adam Schiff. I bet you Adam Schiff is a lot lower.
Maxine Waters. Do you want to take a guess where AOC is on this?
Top 10. What? JK3 is up there?
Yeah. Joseph, JK3, Al Gore, Cory Booker, Andrew Yang, you're getting Nancy Pelosi, Bill Clinton.
Cory Booker.
Do you think she's lower or higher than these guys?
Higher.
Let's see, Madeline. There's AOC. Number 11. Yeah. 11th most popular Democrat and 13th most famous.
Cuomo.
11.
Who else is on the list?
So
isn't Bernie at the top?
So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, 11th most popular, 13th most famous. He was above her. So we have Cuomo, Hillary, Kamala, John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Bernie, Barack Obama, and Jimmy Carter is the most popular Democrat.
Yeah.
So of the people that are above AOC,
look at Bernie's above Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But of the people that are above AOC, we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3. What? 3 presidents. 3 presidents.
And then 2 civil rights icons.
2 civil rights icons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 candidates for 4 former candidates for president. These are the people that are beating her in popularity and fame. Not even fame, because I don't think they even beat her in that. Let me whip that around really fast. Yeah, Barack Obama's the most famous. AOC is down over here at 13. Look at the people that are above her. These all people that ran for president at one point or another. Except for Pelosi.
Bloomberg,
with the exception of Pelosi. With the exception of Pelosi now. This is how quick she's already been able to gain her influence. So the update to that story is that their popularity, each of them, they've gone up rapidly. The opinion of people in regards to them has gone up in regards to their fame in relation to.
Is Cori Bush on the list?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure she has.
Did you see that clip from Karl Rove on Fox News where he didn't know anything? He was trying to smear
no Cori Bush yet.
Bowman. He was trying to smear Bowman and Bush, but he thought that Cori Bush was a dude from Baltimore.
Oh Jesus!
And just had no clue about Bowman, fucking dumbasses.
But yeah.
Is Cori Bush on there?
No, Cori Bush isn't on here yet. So they're probably gonna go and do a run out.
How about Bowman?
I don't think they have the new ones in.
How about Engel?
Engel, how do you spell it? Engel.
Engel.
Gel.
Yeah.
Patrick Kennedy. No, Gillibrand's not there. They only go. Oh, well, here we go. Maybe that's 50? Why. Donna Brazile. Wasserman Schultz.
Castro.
This is fame. Maybe there'll be Joe Manchin's at 62.
Joe Manchin.
That's at fame.
Above Dennis Kucinich.
Well, this is fame.
Popularity.
Yeah, let's do popularity. Let's see, fame, popularity. So Jimmy Carter's the most popular.
Yeah, because he's been, he did a good job in office.
And we'll come back to it right now. But
Newsom.
Jim Clyburn's 42.
Clyburn is the worst.
Claire McCaskill, Harry Reid at 51.
Clyburn's my least favorite Democrat.
Barbara Lee, De Blasio, Hakeem Jeffries down here at 63. So you're punching up there. You're punching up there. How
does Rahm Emanuel still have 20% approval rate or whatever?
Yeah. After
the Kwame McDonald,
Ellison.
How does he have? It's just why won't they let him fail? I saw a good tweet about it the other day where it was I think it might have been Kenzo. Or someone was basically
Ed Markey. Damn, Ed Markey is down at 98. He beat Joe Kennedy.
Well, Kennedy's just famous because of his name.
Yeah. No, I mean this. This is the popularity list, but still.
Somebody said there was
Yeah, I don't see Cori Bush on here, so it's probably an old. They're
substitute.
They're probably gonna do new polling when the new wave of people come in, but.
Somebody said something, I forget what the exact wording of it, but it was you could substitute 1 unit of voter outreach for 1 unit of letting terrible Democrats fail and go away and never come back. The lack of accountability is a major turnoff for people. They don't like seeing these people fail over and over again and then having no repercussions. Yeah. People don't like that.
So let me ask you one last question about this list. Given that what we just said about, the top 10 being comprised of presidential candidates, actual presidents, and 2 civil rights icons and 1 governor, and the next person up on that list is AOC. What does that say about the future of the progressive movement?
Like I said, they're not going to win. The left is going to take over the party at some point, or else there's going to be something like a dramatic reorganization of things. But they're not going to be able to do what they're doing and just sort of messaging to get to crush the left. That's not going to work. There's no way that'll work.
Right.
So they have to let them in the door nicely and do it together, or they're going to just get owned. It's going to just keep happening like this, and they're not going to get to use if they do it properly. they can use the popularity to help the less popular Democrats, right?
Right.
If they do it, like, maturely and, like, not sociopathically, like fucking Clyburn going on TV and trying to shit on them, if they do it in a rational way, they can use their popularity. It'll make them look better. Like, it'll make standard Democrat better. Like, all of those people would benefit if AOC campaigned for them.
Right.
Right? The shittiest Democrat in the party would get tons of extra support if AOC gave one speech for them or went to their district one time. But they would rather just turn that, like they said, that everybody refused her help. You know, like,
and everybody who did lost.
Yeah,
but
so dumb.
So give me your top 5 in the millennial demographic, since you just saw that list.
What list?
The list of popular Democrats.
Bernie and the squad.
Bernie and the squad would be top 5. Let's see. Here we go. We have Obama, Bernie, Jimmy Carter, and AOC.
Keep going.
And then Elizabeth Warren.
Keep going.
All right.
Where's the rest of the squad?
Let's see. There's Ilhan Omar at number 11.
11.
And Rashida Tlaib at number 15.
Yeah. John Kerry, number 16. That's insane.
They're all
who the hell likes John Kerry?
They're all in the top 15.
Who's Gabrielle Gifford? I don't even know who that is.
I've heard of her. Believe that in millennials, all the squad is in the top 15, and then AOC is in the top 5. Behind who? Behind 2 former presidents and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
that's the only people.
I remember that from the primary, having to constantly remind people how popular they are.
Yeah, and let's see who's actually dragging her down. Gen X has her at 16. And then the boomers have her at, I guarantee you they have her like at 30 or something stupid like that.
Chuck Schumer.
There you go. Yeah, among boomers, she's number 27. Which still isn't bad, actually.
How about men?
Women. Let's see. Popularity among women. Bernie, Hillary. AOC's number 10. Do you think she's more popular among men or women?
Yeah.
Madeleine Albright, really?
Madeleine Albright.
She's number 16 with men. So 10 with women, 16 with men. But yeah. But there you go. That's
the future is ours. Like there's no way they're going to be able, like I said, there's no way they're going to be able to have like a whole generation of Mayor Pete's and Betos and, Gillibrands and shit libs like that.
No.
Take over the part or retain control of the party. Like, the left is going to take it over the next few elections, and there's no way they're going to be able to effectively keep the entire left neutralized. There's going to be people challenging incumbents. There's going to be primaries. There's going to be tons of opportunities for them to be exposed, because once a progressive gets involved in the race and starts challenging these people from the left and drawing real policy distinctions, the people will understand. Like, it's like they're going to be just embarrassed one at a time like this, because they can't embrace them responsibly.
And from what we just spoke about too, since it didn't really include the new squad members of Jamal Bowman, Mondaire Jones, Cori Bush, how long do you think it's going to take for them to crack the top 50 or even the top 40 like all the squad is right now, after seeing all the stuff that they're going to do?
Not long.
I think
they're going to be popular right away.
Yeah, that's exactly why. When it comes to
thing, it's like, even if you disagree
that's what
with them,
standing for something does for you.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't necessarily agree with their politics, like, even if you think, like, oh, Medicare for all is too extreme, we should do the public option, like, even if that's what you genuinely believe, you're still going to rank them high, because they're obviously fighting for their constituents. Right. Everybody would be so lucky to have one of them in their district, right? It's night and day. Compare that to like Engel, who was in there before, who did nothing for his constituents,
right.
Didn't live there, barely even visited it, and just treated them like a bunch of uneducated hogs.
So hop back to Hakeem Jeffries for a little bit. I mean, do you think he sees a little, because he came out and defended Engel after he was caught on that hot mic saying that if there was, I wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for, was it for COVID or some shit like that he said? But I
said I wouldn't be out here if I didn't have a re-election.
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was going to speak at like a BLM thing.
Yeah.
And said I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my re-election. So just admitting you don't care about your constituents, you don't care about any of this movement for Black lives, you don't care about any of that shit. You're just there for your own personal aggrandizement. And that's what Beto was saying in that letter is,
right.
If you're just there to further your own career and make yourself look good,
voters can smell that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say what you want for the squad. They're in tune to their communities. But I think
they're just fighting for what their communities need.
Right.
The solutions,
but
they are many places, the solutions are left ideas. That's what the country needs. Well, objectively speaking, that's what we need.
Well, I mean, the other part though of that's unique to them is because there's been so much attention on them. Is there's a more of a national responsibility because they represent the progressive wing now.
Yeah.
And they've stepped up into that role individually. They've all taken that responsibility upon themselves to represent that wing.